Welcome back, my Nakamas. Today, a long time ago, we talk about OP12. It is summer break right now, not many tournaments, and they're bringing out a new set. Will it have impact or will not? You will see here on this channel. I will explain matchups and stuff like why is that deck broken and why not. You can find here, and what you can do to support me is hit the subscribe button. That will hit our mile to 2,150 subscribers, and right, left, and hit the thumbs up button for the more awesome content. And let me know what is your favorite leader from OP12 is. As we hit the 2,150 subscribers, I will make a giveaway for you guys. Most of the time it is a new starter deck or something I will bring out for you and send one of the lucky winners who commenting on the videos and on the next videos. And if you're commenting on more videos, they will get put in more times into the giveaway for this huge support. And thank you as always for watching and helping me out. And let's go to this very nice tier list from OP12. Okay guys, we are right now at our deck profile here. What we can see, I have a tier 0 section and a tier 1 and a tier 1.5 section. Why is that? Because I think there's a lot of decks right now outside, like 2 of them. They're really hyped and good since our last meta as well. We have some new upcoming changes maybe in OP13, but one of the contenders is the blue-purple Luffy. This one is one of the decks. I think it's tier 0. Its overall win rate in Sim is really good. It has a champion win on 3 vs 3 in Taiwan. It has favorite matchups against Green Zoro, Bonnie, and Rayleigh, what is coming right now as well. The unfavorite matchup is Green Purple Luffy and Red Green Smoker, what is not played that much. Unably maintains the really good grip of the meta right now. It continued the streak to be dominating in this meta, what is really good as a trending leader. And it's now multiple consistence because of multiple copies of Thunder Bagura, and a lot of defensive tools this deck having against the decks, what is really strong. And there's not much support given coming out of this set. Sadly, don't load that much. So we're looking at the purple cards. I think we don't have that much. Of course, purple coming at last, right? Right. We don't have that much support coming out for the deck. But with cards like when you're at the sea fight against pirates, as the Gum Jet Gambling, as well as the Gum Giant, what is really strong. Some people playing the Demon Hour as well in the deck, or like Thunder Bagura. There's a lot of stuff what people can play in this deck right now, so I think that's the reason why it's really good for T1. And as a deck as myself, I think is tier 0. Some people put it as tier 1, but I think it's really strong as well, because it has as well as 60% on Sim. It has favorite matchups against Blue Purple Luffy, Green Zoro, Blue Kuzan. It has unfavorite matchups versus Red Shanks and Johnny Bonnie. Maybe this deck will fall down because we see in OP 13 some new supports for Supernovas. Maybe then this deck will fall down, but right now it is one of the better ones. If I find it, here it is. I will put as a tier 0 deck as well. It still holds the position for me for tier 0 because it is really strong. You can play the copies of Divine Aura, the card that gives you for 1, you might rest 3 of your Don cards, rest up to 2 totals of your opponent's character Don cards, and counter you against 3,000 during the battle. What is really strong, as well as other cards I mentioned before in the first Luffy here. You can play the same events here, so it's really strong. It's powerful. The defensive stuff allows the deck to swiftly conclude game wins against unprepared opponents, what it makes it really strong. And I think as well they have both the same cards in the deck, so I think there's not much to talk about it, what's the difference and whatnot. If you played against both of them or each other, then you know why it is. And then for a card I think it is really strong is a red leader. It is Rayleigh. Rayleigh strong because it says, according to the rules, you cannot put cards with a cost of 5 or more to this deck. You might reveal 2 events, like active once per turn. You might reveal 2 events from your hand up to one of your characters with an original power of 4,000 or less gets 2,000 for the turn, who makes it really strong. You play Nami, Baki stuff in there, as well as some of the new cards as well, like Shakukayu. I cannot pronounce it, so I'm sorry guys. Look at top 5 cards. You can reveal one Ruffy card or red event card, as well as Buggy and Nami, helping you to produce more and more stuff in the deck, what is really good. The 2-cost Boa helps you as well to look up stuff, and your most favorite card you playing is the Luffy in the deck. If you have 2 or more attached Don cards to this character, gains plus 2,000 power. You might reveal 2 event cards from your hand, play up to 1 red character with a power of 3,000 less from your hand, then grant up to 1 rested Don to one of your opponent's leaders. You're playing a lot of stuff in the deck, as well as some options as the Color of Observation and Color of Supreme, Haki, and as well the Color of Arms. Haki as events in your deck. You can play the Gum Gum King Kong Gatling from OP06, what is really strong as well, and then Gum Gum Mulgun. You're playing a lot of events. You can play the Zoro Rush, you can play a Vista to clear some stuff out. There's a lot of stuff you can play in this deck. What deck makes this deck really strong as a red forward rush deck. So I think Rayleigh has the chance, or is one of the leaders to comes tier 1. I just need to find him. Here we go. I have the alt art. Just look at the normal art. I think he's really good for the pretending. Is really strong and he's really fast. His favorite matchups is Green Runner Zoro and Marshall D. Teach, because he has problems. Unfavorite matchup is Blue Purple Luffy sadly, and Green Julie Bonnie. So Blue Purple, and this one I think it is 50-50. Depends how fast you are against the deck. I will put there as well. As a deck who's really strong right now as well, it is Rono Zoro. Zoro is really strong as well. I have him right now here. Don free. You play when a free once per turn, Caesar battles your opponent's character during this turn. Set this character as active, then Caesar cannot attack your opponent's character with cost 7 or less, is really strong as well. You can play a lot of new cards in here. You play the Kusuki Hirui, what is really good in your deck, as well as cards like Cavendish, Shodi, or the old Tashigi from the OP12 set. What is a strong card is this Mihawk I saw in some gameplays. It is a blocker for 8,000, and all plays it up to 4 Don is active. Then you might play a character with an original cost of 7 or more, rested this turn, where you can play a lot of stuff out as well. People playing stuff like new stuff from the set, as well as the new Tashigi, and I think this leader is really suited to be tier 1 as well as like some other decks. So I think this is really suitable for him. Yes. I need to find him now. Sorry, guys. But I have all the alt arts here. Where's the Zoro? No, this one as well. This Zoro, yes. I think it is really strong. You have some plays in the deck what is really strong for future and encounter stuff when you might to play it out. You can play as well Izo. We don't have the promo Zoro of the 4 cost right now. That's kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is, guys. For me as well, I think one of the decks who's tier 1 is Bello Betty. Bello Betty strikes back again. The favorite matchup is Blue Purple Luffy, Green Purple Luffy, and Blue Kuzan. So there's 2 decks that you can play. Our favorite matchup is Green Zoro, so this one is kind of higher, and Bonnie and Red Rayleigh, so this one coming up. But I think a lot of Bello Betty players jump into Rayleigh. I don't need to explain much, because this deck is shifting, moving its previous tier 1 is really good. It's a hard choice to take. Depends on the overall effectiveness it has, but I think it's still suited for tier 1, guys. I think it's still suited for tier 1. What I think as well is really good is for tier 1.5. I think a lot of players will say Teach is tier 1, but for me as a Teach player, I think it's tier 1.5. It has problems against Red Rayleigh and Green Purple Luffy. The other decks are kind of okay, as well as Bello Betty. This deck is really too fast. You have versus Bonnie, a good matchup, and Blue Kuzan, but decks, there are people running this decks, yes, but I think it is hard to compete against other stuff. What is really good? It has a chance of negate stuff from Zoro. What is a good matchup, I think, in the current meta. But the skill pilots are still hard to find success with the deck. Sometimes people topping with the deck I see as well in Japan. But right now, with builds like Black Vortex, is a crucial stuff and tech for the matchup against Zoro, because of a lot of people playing it. I don't think. I think like a better black leader to talk about is Lucci, sorry, my boy Lucci. I think he's better. I think like the control version of it. You can play from the OP12 the new Bello Betty. I need to find her in the list. I need to load it again. Black card. One cost. No, that's not Bello Betty. Hit this one. It's a free cost. Sorry, I'm sorry. When attacking, you might trash 2 cards from your hand or deck. Give up to your opponent's 2 costs during the turn, and it is a Revolution Army 2 cost card. What you can add as well. What is really okay-ish. Some people playing with the Garb 3 cost the blocker. With the active monster turn, you might place 1 card from the trash to the bottom of deck. One of your opponent's -1. What is really good with the 10 cost Kuzan, just reduction stuff to get it more down. I think it is suited for tier 1 because I think it can clear stuff on the board and maintain more. But yeah, as a tier 2, tier 1.5 is a higher one. I will put Bonnie in here. Bonnie is strong because you can play new stuff from here. You can play what I showed you, the Mihawk in the deck. What is really strong, the A-cost Mihawk you can play in the deck. You can play as well the Koshiryu if you're a slash attribute with a class 5 or less. Other than this character will be killed by your opponent effect, you might rest this character instead. And it has blocker, what is really good for the deck as well. And you can play the 8 costs for 5 cost. What's wrong with me? Sorry, the weather guys. The 5 cost Bonnie in here. It has blocker if you have 8 or more rested cards, draw 2 cards and trash 1 card from your hand. What is really strong, and then set up to one of your Don as active is really good as well because you want this. It is okay support, but this deck has as well problems against Blue Purple Luffy and Teach. Teach are not playing that much. It is a favorite matchup against Green Rowan Zoro, Red Rayleaf, and Blue Kuzan, but it has still problems against this top 2 decks. And that's what is the problem about. When this deck is too fast against Bello Betty, it loses as well. I think with the new support, we can put it as tier 1. And maybe with some nerfs or like a bandless or something like that, is like helping us as well. In Digimon, we're getting one. In One Piece, the problem are these two decks. And I think it is some of the event cards inside of that. But as a good contender to playing as well in the meta is the Smoker deck. Good when I'm finding my stuff, right, guys? Haha. Is Smoker. I think Smoker is really decent as well. Right now in the meta, it has favorite matchups against Green Zoro and Red. Unfavorite matchups against Green Zoro and Red Rayleaf. Has good matchups against Blue Purple Luffy and Teach. So it is kinda okay. It is a significant green leader where you can abuse the Mihawk in it, and as well the new Jewelry Bonnie I showed you guys. What is really good. It has some advantage against some decks, and as well as is favored against Monkey D. Luffy as a top contender. It has critical factors suggest for player to recognize its potential. That's kind of problem. But if you can play the deck, I think you're probably getting in a good spot with it. But I think it's tier 1.5 as well as Shanks. I will put in tier 1.5 as well. There's not much coming out for that deck as well in OP12. The only one card coming out is the 4 cost Shanks I saw. Here there's one. It has blocker, and you might trash 1 card from your hand. Give up to one of your opponent's leader 2000 during this turn. What is really good. And you can play the Shayakuya as well because you can search Luffy cards or events what you want to have. You can play as well in the deck. As well, favorite matchups are Green Bonnie and Red Rayleaf. Bad matchups is Blue Purple Luffy and Green Zoro. What is playing one of the most, that's the reason why this deck is down and tier 1.5. As the unfavorite deck in tier 2, I will put Zoro. As Zoro, there's not much stuff coming out for you as well in the set. You cannot abuse stuff. I think it's really hard right now in this meta to contain against when you have like a better version of you. So as well put him in tier 2. Tier 2 for me is as well Enel. Enel is not doing much. Of course you can play in the new Enel version, the new Pacifista. You can play in the deck as well as nothing more, right? You have the 10 cost Enel coming out from before of the set, and you can play the new Pacifista in the deck. What I think is really cool on play, you might trash one card from your hand up to one of your cards top deck, the top deck of your live cards. Then this character gains +2 cost, what is really nice against black, but it's not much cost reduction out there at the end of your opponent's next phase. On opponent's turn, on KO, add to one card from the top of your deck to the top of your live cards. It is really good, but it gets removed fast in this meta, or before you can really abuse it. Your opponent is so fast to killing you, and that's the reason why this deck belongs really here. Kuzan is not strong as well. Kuzan has problems against Blue Purple Luffy, Green Jeremy Bonnie, and Red Rayleaf. Favorite matchup is Zoro and Red Green Smoker, but this deck is now not on the top right now, and that is what it has as a problem. It struggles unfavorite matchup against majority of the format as a dominant archetypes running around. If Kuzan might require maybe for Blue Navy any future stuff, it has a really much, I think, potential to grow, so come up in higher places than now. But right now, I don't think it is really good. For Purple Luffy, I think this deck still holds up in tier 1.5. Many people say this either should be banned, but I see this, like, the stuff is, the purple event cards are really good. The high-end cards, most of them are played by the same purple decks, and I think that's why we can put him as tier 1.5. As tier 2, I will put as well Nami in. I will say Nami is tier 2. You can play as well the new Bartolomeo in the deck, but I think the problem against it, it has not many data right now played in any of the tournaments, or like are right now a deck who topped. A deck who top more is the Blue Nami in OP12. I will put her in 1.5 as well. She's doing phenomenal things. The Marco, the PRB 02 Marco, the blocker on KO draws 2 is a really good support for the deck, and as well you're running a lot of event cards and nothing new more. Just playing a lot of events, play the blocker to draw 2, have something to as a protection in the early game, because many people need to set up. Of course, you have unfair matchups as well with the deck, but I think right now it is better than the other Nami version you have right now into this meta. For lore, I will put, do I have lore on this list? Like Katakuri is the same as the other ones. Purple Katakuri comes to 2 as well. Kid I will do in 1.5. It has more, like, I saw more tops with kids running around in this meta because Blue Kid do something in this meta. It is not that bad, and as well you can abuse the new Bartolomeo, and I think for the yellow decks is the best choice you can do. Course of his leader effect and just the stuff you can do with it. I think it is really suited to be in that spot. So like this, I have 2 times here. Like this one comes tier 2, this one is tier 3. Like I don't know, like this one is tier 2.5. This one is tier 2.5. This here is 2.5. This here is 2.5. 2.5. Putting I will put in tier 2 because she has still some good yellow cards coming out for her, and as well purple cards to abuse. Marco tier 0.5. Yamato with the support tier 2. Usopp tier 2.5, Smoker tier 2. It is a worse version than Lucci, but still you can put him somewhere. Dofi tier 2, Luffy tier 2, tier 2, tier 2, tier 2. This deck is really much support. I think this one can do something, but not that much to get any progress out of it. So I don't think it do really much, but it will get some really good support. So for the other leaders, we talk about them. So I have the rest of the list for you guys. finished up what I'm thinking, because the other decks are not that quite mentioned to talk about, only tier 1.5, tier 1 and tier 0. The other decks are just decks people enjoy to play and that you can do, of course, but I don't think they're fitting into something and they're just tier 2.5 or tier 2. Sanji has some tops. It's really cool to see. Active will up to 1 event with the Straw Hat type as an original cost of 3 or less from your hand. If the number of Don on your board is equal or less to your opponent, add 1 Don from your Don deck. And since with your purple, you can manipulate that one, what is really cool. You can play, of course, there's no purple cards here. Of course, you can play stuff like the OP12 new Reiju when I find her somewhere. Here we go. This one says, if your trash contains 4 event cards, this character gets +2 force power and plus 5,000 points, plus 5 power, what is really strong. Then as a 3-cost Sanji is really strong in this deck as well. And then you play really much a lot of event cards. This one is like literally the same as Nami, but in another way. You play the Chala Pudding, where you can look for a Sanji card to find your Sanji. And then you play cards like Luffy from the ST26, and as well as Kaya, Yonzu, and Winsmoke Reiju. And then you play multiple copies of stuff in it. And I think it's really cool. I will put him as tier 1.5 because it has some succeed in Japanese as well. So I will put him as a nice result as 1.5. And then it was here Koala. Koala is really cool as well. Didn't do anything in this meta, sadly. Maybe we need some time. When you see the attacks, your opponent's leader, if you have 2 or more cost 8 greater characters in play, draw 1 card. So it's coming out to be a late game leader. With 4 life, it's kind of hard to sustain in the meta. Once per turn, when your opponent plays a character with an original cost 8 or more, or plays a character do a card effect, you can activate your opponent's at the top card of the left to your hand. This one is really good against Zoro if the people are playing something or higher cost stuff, but it is like not that great, not that well. It is. I would put it as a tier 2, maybe middle one. I would say it's not that good, sadly. The effect reads out why it's not that good. I would say. Rosinante. A lot of people love this guy. It didn't do anything. If your leader has Trafalgar Law would be KO'd, you might add 1 card from top of your deck cards instead. So you need to rely on having all the entire Trafalgar Law on the board, what takes you time as a 4-cost leader in this meta, who is really fast, and other people play out the 8-cost card with more value, plays a lot of stuff, really fast deck, plays out stuff, really fast deck, clears your board. Against black decks, I can see him. Active main once per turn, -1 the next time you play a Trafalgar Law with a cost 4 or less from your hand. Your deck cost will be reduced by 2, so you can play out more, but you're running out of sources. If your opponent are stronger than you, or coming stronger, then you need time to focus on your stuff, so I will put him in tier 2 as well, because he's not that fast to play against other leaders as well. That's my conclusion for it. Maybe we need some time to see what's the future is coming, but this is my OP12 list, guys. I hope you enjoyed with the negative matchups, good matchups, what I find out, what is the win rate and stuff like that. I find out on the meta tier list and put the conclusion. If you have anything to say about what I can do better, let me know in the comment section down below. But this was all. Thank you always for watching, guys. Stay healthy and good luck finding your One Piece. Goodbye.